I am really like getting to that point where I'm realizing that like this is my life and I can do whatever I want. And if you're watching this and you're like, why is she crying? Like, and it's not like a sad cry, it's like a self-love cry. Like, have you ever just, I hate to use the phrase broke your own heart. Like, you continue down a path that you know you should have stopped a long time ago, and because of how far deep into it you broke your own heart. Like, you knew you should have like just cut it off a long time ago, right? Anyway, I say this is a self-love cry because how many times, and I'll be the first to admit, have you ever just like really, really wanted something to work and just like thought that like if you were like not even stoic enough, but just like, you know, sat back and watched like, dang, like you really gonna do this? Like you really gonna make me like, do other people beg you for this? You think I'm about to beg you for it? No, thank you. Like, and just to give you examples, like, could have cut it off when I asked said person for help with something around my house, and then they didn't help. So then a different friend of mine did help, and I showed them the job, and I was really admiring how beautiful my art was. And this person said, oh yes, slaves that do everything for you. And in my head, I should have thought about that. Like, so you think that I should just be helpless and suffer? Like, I asked you for help first, and you basically told me that you had to help yourself. And so somebody else does help me, and now they're a slave. Okay. Like, there are just so many moments where I could have just walked away, and I didn't. And like, you know what I went to go do? Like, it was like, I knew it was coming. Like, I've been feeling this way for like some weeks, and I was like, you know what? Just let it play out. And like today I hit my ceiling because there was just other stuff that came up, and I was just like, when real life hits in the midst of everything, is this the partner that I want? How this person is showing up for me, is this how I want the person that I want, that like the one family member that I get to choose in life? And do I choose an unsupportive, just grumpy, just no. And like, we quite literally have to start thinking like this when we're like getting to know people, and like you know, and like I think maybe just because like I have just really been going through like a really like, you know, this isn't the first one, but this is the one that I really was like, really not you, but I was like, yeah, I kind of knew it was coming, because it's not the only one that has gotten the boot. But you just sit there and you think, they don't get better with time. They don't. We do. They don't. So why am I going to use the precious time that I have now when, what did that lady say? It's like you're at dinner and you order salmon with asparagus, and they bring you out lobster bisque? Are you gonna eat the lobster bisque? Bisque. No. You're not gonna eat the lobster bisque. Why? Because it's a soup, babe. And you wanted fish with vegetables. So you tell them, I know this is not what I ordered. So here you are. And so many of us have been conditioned to be like, oh, well, lobster bisque is still seafood. Okay, but is it what you wanted? Is it going to satisfy that hunger? Is it going to hit your macros like that salmon and that asparagus? No. Send it back. And you know what I did? I sent all them mother truckers back. I said, I release you. Go be where you want to be, with who you want to be with. I release you. And I also open up for what wants to be here to be here. Because I ain't no placeholder. And you can tell when people like are trying to make you a placeholder because you treat yourself so fine and you like, hold on, how is you gonna get with the program? No? Okay. Do my deuces up. Yeah. What Chris Brown say, these hoes ain't loyal. Right? Because you have to be loyal to yourself. I don't care how selfish you look being loyal to yourself. But at the end of the day, who's looking out for you the way you want to be looked out for? And only you know how you want to be looked out for. And as you come across people in your day-to-day life and you see how they show up for you, how they would like to show up for you, it'll make it easy. Because I really hate the notion that you have to teach people how to love you or how to properly show up for you. Because before someone approaches you, be a friend, whoever, romantic partner, someone who wants to start a business with you, they watch you first. Any person that's worth engaging with is going to be an observant person. They're going to observe you. They're going to observe, how do you handle situations? How do you handle conflict? Do you think on your feet? How do you interact with people? How's your body language when you're interacting with these people? What's your tone of voice like? How do you show up for the people that you care about? These are things that you subconsciously or, consciously pay attention to. And if the same isn't being extended to you, then why are you there? And this goes for all facets of life. I don't care if it's your mama, your sister, your bald-headed cousin. Okay? If you are not showing up for me in a way that says, I see you, I won't see you. Cool. And I'm partially recording this for myself because I kid you not, I was in a car. I'm gonna bust myself out because I was like, you know what? I need to feel my feelings. And I'm just proud of myself because in the past, I would have taken it to hell. I would have used the information. I would have used the information that this person shared with me to go below the belt and say things to be hurtful and just evil and mean. And I was like, you know what? I don't even care that much. It's not even worth it. Like all that, I'm not angry towards you. Because what did that Reverend Ike say? He said, if there's anything that somebody's doing that's upsetting you, you got to turn it back at yourself and say, why am I acting like this? And he ate with that. Reverend Ike ate with that one. Like, why am I acting like this? Why am I acting like this? Because I was like, you know what? Why am I acting like this? And I was acting like this because I was like, I don't think this is where I'm supposed to be at. And it's not my job or responsibility to make myself cozy in some place that I'm not supposed to be cozy in. How am I gonna make myself cozy in the Grinch's quarters when I'm trying to be over there kicking the mayor's girlfriend out of her residence so that I could live there? Cause what I want to hang out with? No, 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 no. Okay, that's oh my gosh. Okay, I can see stuff. I don't know if y'all can see it, but anyway, I am divinely guided and protected, and I'm very grateful for that. And if you're watching this, when you're watching this, I don't know what kind of awesomeness is about to unfold, but so much staticky stuff has happened today that I was like, you know what? It's about high time that I just stop giving a hoot. A hoot, 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 hoot. And I will start to give a hoot about how I feel and how I show up for myself, because there's no prize for suffering. You don't get a medal at the end of your life for being a good wife. You don't get a medal at the end of your life for constantly being a kind and generous person to people that gave you their bouquet to kiss. And I am learning that. And I'm also teeter-tottering on learning when to address things and when to shut up. But I'm very proud of myself for learning that I don't always have to take it to hell. You know, I can respectfully and rationally communicate that I'm not enjoying things and leave it be and not go for the jugular. A little side note, I did have to join the debate team or get suspended. So, it's been a work in process. It has been a work in process. And I'm not going to say it's easy. I'm not going to say it's perfect. But what I can say is that I trust myself. I trust myself completely. And I make decisions to love, honor, and accept myself every day. And when you do that, like Tyler Perry said, it will get easier to move on. And yeah, like, yes, I was listening to the first song I put on was Boogie Wonderland, trying to really raise the vibration, but I was like, you know what, I gotta cry. So then I put on We Belong Together, and then I was like, hold on, do we? Because quiet as kept. The reason it's so easy for me to get over this one person is because I may be in love with somebody else, but that's a different conversation. Anyway, so then I played Love Don't Love Nobody by the Spinners. And then, like I said, We Belong Together, but I was like, Anyway, and then I played If You Think You're Lonely Now, and then I played Cause I Love You. And funny enough, I like found this like wedding playlist and Cause I Love You was on there, and I was like, wait, really? And then I re-listened to the song and I played it today, and it's basically him telling the woman that he's with, like, this woman that I feel so hard for, so deeply for, left me, and basically he was like, I got ghosted, and I was heartbroken, and then you just smiled at me and it changed my life, and I'm so grateful for you. And I was like, oh, I mean, because he's singing about heartbreak for most of the song, but you know, the ending, beautiful. And then I was like, you know what, it's okay. everything's gonna work out. You wanna know why? Everything's gonna work out because around this month last year, I was in Mexico. And I was thinking, I'm ready for a relationship. And my best friend was like, girl, you got some anger you need to work through. And I was like, what you talking about? And just from being where I was last year to where I am now, I can gladly say that I am so grateful for the true friends that I've met and who have known me for now, like, oh my gosh, close to a decade. And they've seen the different phases of me, but also for my friend to feel comfortable and honest enough to say, hey, you still have some anger to work through. I'm glad that she did because I'm still working through it, and I'm not perfect, right? I'm not perfect. But I was like, I know I want to learn how to be in partnership because I am a Libra. I'm a certified Libra. But I mean, like, certified Libra because, like, I believe that there are some things that you can't compromise on, right? But when it comes to the one family member that you get to pick, and the person is going to pour into your children and is going to define how they see themselves when they go into the world because of how he protects, provides, leads, that is so important, right? And I don't want to be the reason that they got $200 therapy copays because I picked a loser. Because I was too busy seeking a connection that was self-serving instead of serving my future generations, instead of empowering my future bloodline. Well, Beyonce say my great-great-grandchildren are already rich. That's the kind of partner that I want, right? I want a partner that's going to make my kids feel like, yep, we can have kids because my parents going to be grandparents. Yeah. That's the goal. That's the goal. So, when you have that, the goalpost don't move. When you have that goalpost, you stick to it. And when you understand how important it is, because even if things don't work out with you and the person, who they are at their core, that'll never change. And you really gotta see and pay attention. And you can't be looking and you gotta look a bit deeper. I'm really begging y'all to open your eyes and to stop making so many excuses. Because I had to say this to myself. And it's okay to be a little harsher. It's okay to be harsher. In fact, you should. The way things are right now, the price is higher than ever. No time for losers, no time for mediocrity, right? So, am I gonna do a check-in and let you know how things are going? I don't know. This is just a message, y'all. It's just a little chit-chat. A little post-cry chit-chat. Because, okay, after you cry, you gotta do something about it. And what am I doing? I'm sitting here talking. Because I'll probably watch this video. Who knows? Me and my husband could probably watch this together. And be like, how you think you did? Excuse me, baby. You married a winner, so we won. We won. But anyways, if there's anything I want you to take away, remember when Portia was on season 10 of Real Housewives of Atlanta, and they were all ganging up on her. And they were on that trip, the trip to the wine vineyard. And I remember her saying, like, I remember these quotes in my head, right? Because everybody has that moment in time where it's just like, dang, like, I forget. I feel like it's like a scene from a movie where it's just like somebody, and then it's just like me versus everybody, and it's like they're like, come on, and I don't know, it was kind of like, it's kind of like the same thing, like when Portia was like in the Lions Den, and she was like, when you going on a trip with a bunch of that don't like you, you better make sure you slay it any occasion. I was like, you're absolutely right. So anytime I go around some people that I know are, I make sure I look better than them. Yeah, when I work out with the intention I'm shitting on bitches. And you gotta have that mentality. Like, I literally, when I'm working out, I will have the mentality. I know the people hating on me ain't up at this time working out right now. I know the people that got the most to say about what I'm doing, they not putting in this work right now. Because the ones that are putting in this work don't have time to say nothing about what I'm doing. Okay? Cool. And then what she also say, after that one night, after Nene lost her bun trying to get Portia together, I slept good. I treated me right. So whatever time you watching this, if it's bedtime, if it's the middle of the day, if it's the middle of the day or the morning, make plans for how you gonna treat yourself right this whole day. Treat yourself right with a bedtime routine, and then treat yourself to some good sleep. Okay. And as that Miss Lady Portia said, I slept good. I treated me right. I slept good. I treated me right. Y'all wonder why this woman never fails. Because I slept good. I treated me right. No matter what comes my way, all I can do is pour into my own cup. All I can do is hold my ground and then ground myself once I'm off that unstable ground. So let's take a deep breath. And when you blow your breath out while keeping your teeth together, it's like a little pressure, some tension, some force, and it feels good. So I'ma go. I got this new moo. Hold on. Look at my little moo. My little bestie and I, we're my rich bestie. Can't call him my broke bestie, okay? My rich bestie and I went to the movies. We was gonna go see Minions, but brain fart on Mama's part, and we ended up seeing Toy Story 5. And it was exactly what we needed, because outside of the whole message about iPads, great, cool, it was really nice to see people learn to work together, especially, you know, you can have this idea, this is bad, right? And sometimes you have to, like, learn how to work with the bad to bring in the good. And that's a life lesson, a transmutation, because you're not always only gonna get good, right? And that's like good thoughts, good energy, good welcomes, right? But when you get what you get, you have to learn how to, what you say, put it on that wheel, put it on that little spinning thing that they did, that they made Cinderella dress on. Put it on there and just make something pretty out of it. Make something curtsy. Okay. For the umpteenth time, I'm gonna actually go now, okay? Because I gotta go treat me right, which means I gotta remove these popcorn kernels out of my teeth. But also, I was like, I'm about to be like homegirl and get my horse. Have a farm. Because quiet as it's kept, I do enjoy rolling around in the mud with pigs. I'm just kidding. I'm not about pigs in my farm, but I'm gonna be hanging out with my horsey. Like I say, if I'm gonna spend money for an animal, I'm gonna get a horse. And somebody's like, that's not very smart. I said, honey, a vet bill for a dog can easily run you $750 to $1,000. You can get a nice horse for about $5,000. You can get a nice designer dog for about that much too, right? There are some dogs that sell for more money than horses, right? And if I'm going to circulate some money to care for something, I'm gonna care for what I want. Okay, like people get so on you if you like wanna procreate with a certain person to ensure that your child has certain genes. They don't like that, right? But you can go breed this dog to go remove these certain genetic abnormalities or to get this certain feature. But it's okay when it's a dog. But if it's a human being, it's so bad. You know, I digress completely because that's not the point. What I'm making my point about is that if you can choose whatever you want in life, make sure it's what you really want. I don't have no dog. Why? Because I don't want no dog. I want a horse. I don't care how crazy that sounds to who the flip ever. Why? Because if I have to take care of it, if I have to pour into it, I am not going to pour my best energy into a dog. Because I want a horse. You see, horses on the mind. Must be horse on the brain. Yeah. That's got me galloping this way. He don't stop when I say hump, but I love him so much, and so do the chipmunks. Must be horses on the brain. Anyways, I promise y'all, I it's the heat. What they said make you delirious. Delirious. Anyway, and you know how committed I am to this horse life. Hold on, y'all hold my bag. Hold my bag. So it's funny enough because I was actually just telling the person that I just had to end things with. I was just telling them about how I said I don't want a dog, I want a horse, and they're like, well, horses are expensive and you have to learn how to take care of them. And I was like, I don't need YouTube tutorials. And I own it. So what does that mean? I can mark it up how I see fit, right? And this is how you have to live your life. If you want something and you say you want it and then you see a book or you see something that's in your path about what you want, go in that direction because it means you're headed in the right direction. Because we just had the horse discussion recently. I was like, wait, hold on, I have a book about this. And then in the Toy Story 5 movie, they had horses. And she's like, you have a horse? She's like, yeah. She's like, really? She's like, yeah. I was like, I'll be doggone if that's not my little daughter. Yeah. I ride horses with my mommy. And like, yeah, we ride horses and we play tennis and, just we do stuff and we hang out. And we be kicking it. And she got a great daddy. And we have a great family. I'm so excited for her. Like, sister girl is living the life already. Little does she know. So we gotta go sleep good and treat ourselves right, so that sister girl can make her entrance. So, toopity doo, soupity doo. Okay, for real, I'm leaving this time. Bye.